We have a look into the future of DDD. We have some Trickstar innovations for you today, and it also appears that the rest of the meta is offsetting with some interesting takes on our dear friends out of Trickstar. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more Oz content. We have the power of DDD's nuts for you today, and I gotta tell you, seeing the stupid power that you're kind of getting with this package is very, very good. Now, Zero King just does so much here because your pendulum scale for this to recruit for a dark contract is actually nuts. And then, of course, I mean, you have the ability to do this, what's let you target what a DD card you control, except for this, destroy, and if you do special summon a DD from the deck, and you can't special summon for the rest of this turn except for DD, that's fine, man. Like, the combination of this being your pieces now is crazy. Also, Count Surveyor now being one of the best pieces for you to unload, along with, you know, dear old Frieza here, is very good. It's crazy because, you know, we come from a generation where, like, Swirl Slime and Necro Slime were always deemed incredibly needed staple cards. And now that time has kind of gone on here, you know, we've been able to kind of step away from the need for those cards, and we can start to explore, you know, other things. Also, going with the 2 copies of Gilgamesh, I think is fine. You do have access to the the quad DDD here, which is always going to be kind of like the goal to pull out. But outside of that, also, you do have access to the Nightmare Throne in here. I don't think a lot of people give Nightmare Throne a lot of credit in here, but getting to pull out a Fiend with 0 attack, 0 defense gives you straight access to Kepler. And having that extra, you know, value means a lot. It's always going to be such a major thing worth discussing. So definitely good to see this deck evolving with the ideas that players are bringing to the table. Now, this is an interesting idea here. So this is adapting Trickstar cards in combination with the canine stuff. Now, you might not know this, but Trickstar does actually have a level 5 within their arsenal. It is actually Korobane. Now, obviously, Korobane has to make sure that, you know, if you have no monsters or everything that you have is a Trickstar to special summon it. But that's fine because you can just Joe Cool this on out and you've already got a Trickstar on the field and you can kind of do your thing. Because that also ensures that, you know, you can get the Candina normal summon set up and do your thing. Now, we are going to be seeing, you know, the new support for this, which will be Nori being able to actually see some play in this deck, which I don't know if you want to play Nori. Nori might be something that might be a one-of. Also, the other interesting thing about this is there's no Joel Lockbirds in here. There's no Trickstar reincarnation type of scam that we've very much seen Trickstars be trying to do over the years. I mean, well, let's call it what it is. I mean, we've all seen that this deck wants to try to do the ha-ha funny, you know, trying to paralyze the opponent. It doesn't work out. Now you're dedicating more to the Trickstar side of things through the effects here and so forth, while actually, you know, having Nash Knight for a suck-up as well. I also do see, I mean, you can also make the Umbral Horror here on the little extra burn. So depending on how your hand opens up, you might be able to get pretty incredibly far. Also, the Ripper just kind of ensures that, you know, we can have the Liberation to rank up to punish the opponent. This is by far a very interesting take on what you'll be able to mess around with in the future. Now this, Crystron Canine. Now, if you don't have access to Nori for a little bit of time because you're looking at Nori's prices and you're like, I don't want to shell out for this. Understandable, Duelist. I get it. All right, cards are expensive. We don't want to deal with that BS. You can go with the already existing package if you want, but I assure you that having access to Nori changes your perspective of this deck so much more than you could ever actually imagine, because it is another machine that you have access to. It makes bridging into the River Stormer even more crazy. So on the pre-side of things, I do see that this build is testing out the idea of Regulus, which is not bad, honestly. Regulus's job is just to give you that extra negate that you can kind of wall up with and actually kind of control your opponent with. That's not bad. I do see that we're also going with triple droplets in here as well. Droplet's just kind of that card that you have to rely on to board break your opponent, or else you're just going to have a really bad time. Yes, cluster is, or inclusion is limited to 1. It's just an unfortunate side effect of the format. Also, we are playing 1 Dawn Dragster. I know that there are some hands that you can open up and have the possibility of double Dawn Dragster, but I don't think that this is the deck that really wants to be seeing the multiple Dawn Dragsters in the extra deck. You just want to play with the 1. If it does end up coming up, then you know it is just another little piece along the way that you can kind of set up. That's honestly kind of my opinion on it. I don't really hate that. You've got options. That's very much for sure. Next up here, Vanquish Soul. This deck is in such a weird state right now. Now, I do see that we are kind of trying out the idea of Copium here. Now, my problem with 7th Tachyon is you get locked in to exceed for the rest of the turn. Alright? Now, you're probably like, well, that's fine, but the problem is here, we're cutting ourselves off of Rock of the Vanquisher access. 99% of the time, we want Rock to be able to get the extra body on the field so you can do your thing. So your trade-off here is 1, the summon off Rosin, or, you know, the search for Rosin, which is always going to be probably Holy Sue here, or, you know, another element to this. Is this going to be worth sacrificing the Rock the Vanquisher? That's what your discussion point is now. And we have a monster to search, man. Like, you literally have 105 to be able to bridge the gap off of this to find your pieces. Because I know a few people were like, oh, how? Yes, this is how. Also, I see we are playing Durandal in here as well. I mean, it is Copium, actually. You just have to be able to... technically, if you do see this does get you into the Rosin. You just got to make sure that, you know, this can equip to whatever for you to be able to go get the search. So that also depends on how you open up via canine stuff. Also, you do get Nori soon. I think Nori will be something that this deck will want to actually try to play, because confidently enough, I think Nori is probably one of the more important cards that you can slot in, because being able to take a peeksy-weeksy at the opponent's hand is usually going to be a pretty important thing. I don't know why you'd want to forgo access to that. And our last list here is Yummy. Now, pre this set, Yummy is just... this is a standard example of this. Now, obviously, as you start to pick up marshmallows and start to evolve this deck, one of the first things you're probably going to start to do is start to shave down Lollipop. We know for a fact that Lollipop is not one of the greater cards that helps promote this deck strategy. Not at all. There's also been a lot of discussion, you know, do you really need the Link Karibo in this deck? Like, does Link Karibo actually, like, promote, you know, actual value within the deck? I do think Link Karibo is a good card. It really just depends on how the field and everything is coming together. If you're left in a really weird situation where, you know, you might want something else in the extra deck, I don't know. According to a lot of Master Duelists that we have, Link Karibo is literally worthless and does nothing for this deck, which, I mean, I get it, alright? Like, you're trading off a level 1 to get this back on the field, and, I mean, what is the Link Karibo going to do? I mean, it's just going to be a tuner? I mean, yeah, probably. It's kind of the whole point of seeing him running around, but honestly, this is a good place to start for the format if you really want to start to test the waters and start to see, you know, where can we go from here? You know, what evolutions can we try with the deck? But please, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think, and I will see your beautiful faces back here in a day, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.